Well, hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching Georgia Beer Reviews back at you today with another one. I'm joined once again by Mr. Bumpy Road Brews out of New Hampshire, and we are drinking a Jack's Abbey beer. Jack's Abbey Craft Lagers is out of Framingham, Massachusetts, and this is one of the Framinghammer Series beers 2023 release. Just came out a few weeks ago, picked up a bottle. This is the Affogato Framinghammer. It is Baltic Porter with coffee and vanilla beans added, and
12% ABV.
A 12% ABV, and it's they use Honesta coffee out of Brazil.
Female-owned
Coffee house. All right, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. I've always enjoyed the Framinghammer series. I think it's the best stuff that Jack's Abbey puts out.
Last year's was a bit disappointing, I think.
Did they have the Affogato?
Oh, no, they didn't have this one, but
it's almost like this year they had German chocolate cake, which I reviewed, but last year it was called Taza chocolate. And if you look at the German chocolate cake label, it was made with Taza chocolate. Similar recipe, but they renamed it. I think they had a coffee version last year of this, but it was called something else. So we'll see how this one is. The 2023 Affogato Framinghammer, 12% alcohol, bourbon barrel aged with vanilla beans.
Mocha head.
Kind
of sudsy, but lasting.
Pretty much a black.
Yeah, it's going to be, I mean, the head's dark enough, it's probably a black.
It's for all intents and purposes, jet black appearance.
All right.
Ooh, caramel. Caramel.
If you get caramel, the first thing I notice is coffee.
First thing I picked up was caramel. Like a caramel coffee, though. Like caramel, like Kate.
I get super like
my wife drinks the coffee with the caramel creamer in it. That's what it smells like.
Okay.
Like a caramel coffee.
But it's vanilla bean.
But to me it smells like caramel coffee.
Okay.
I think just the way that it presents. Yeah, I think I'll get more vanilla on.
It's like a very weak French vanilla, but like
there
super black.
Well,
coffee.
French vanilla caramel.
This is like straight up like
it's sweet
coffee.
Coffee with that sweet. To me, it's caramel on the nose, like a caramel coffee or caramel mocha chino, whatever my wife drinks for coffee. That's what this smells like to me. It smells very pleasant.
It smells natural,
but it doesn't. Yeah, it does. It
doesn't smell artificial.
It doesn't scream vanilla bean to me though. Like when I think of vanilla bean, like Madagascar vanilla bean, it's very distinct. It's very vanilla forward. This is more chocolate caramel coffee.
Yeah,
I think it's just the way that the vanilla is interacting with the roasty coffee. It presents more as a caramel. Not to take away from it, but
yeah,
it smells delightful. That's pretty much it, and it doesn't. I'm not getting a ton of bourbon, like oak or anything.
No,
it smells good though. So let's get into it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh, now I'm getting barrel. A little dark fruit, a little oak, but it's still
super coffee.
A lot of coffee and vanilla. I pick up the vanilla now, but it's still not. See, this is the thing too. We had a stout earlier. One of the things I like about the Jack's Abbey too is you get a lot of flavor. You get the barrel presence, but the body with this is like compared to the mitts that we just had. This is light, not watery, but for the style, for something that you expect to drink.
It's cleaner because it's very lager as well. So
yes, and it's lager versus ale. So I've always really enjoyed the Jack's Abbey Framinghammer series, and I like the fact that they take a Baltic Porter, something a little bit lighter bodied, and then barrel age it so you get a ton of that complexity, that interesting flavor profile, but you don't get that thickness, so you could really, and this is 12% too, mind you, but you could really just down this if you wanted to because it's so light for what it is, if that makes sense. It's very easy drinking. Especially after the mitts, my God. Because that was medium to almost full-bodied, and this one is. There's a lot of sweetness with this. I think the vanilla's coming through more on the palate, but I'm still getting that caramel mocha.
There's almost like
thing.
This like sativa sugariness.
Sativa sugar, weed sugar. Yeah. Sativa, as in cannabis, sugary.
No, the S.
These are sativa.
What's that sugar that's like not like sugar?
Oh, stevia.
Stevia. There we go.
You said sativa.
Yeah, I meant stevia. You know,
sativa like marijuana. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, like a stevia because it actually has a sweeter.
There's kind of this kind of, but it's almost sugar. Like a weird. It's not like a sugary, super sweet. You know.
I like this, but see, I'm not a huge coffee person. So for me, like the German chocolate cake, which I've already reviewed, which will be posted at some point, I think I like that one better. The coffee doesn't detract from the overall flavor. You still get some of the barrel. But if you're not a big coffee head, you know, Jack's Abbey has a pretty big lineup of these beers. I would maybe go with the other ones. I mean, you're paying... The price point, though, is good. You can get... It's $10 for these bottles. It's a 16.9 ounce bottle of a 12% bourbon barrel-aged Baltic Porter. So I don't think you can really go wrong with any of them other than... What was it last year? They put out one that was a real stinker. Oh,
there was a few of them. There was the coconut one.
I like the coconut rum.
Did you?
It was rum barrel-aged versus bourbon barrel-aged, but it was... It was a letdown considering that some of the coconut beers that I had. What I I was expecting a coconut explosion in my mouth, and I got a coconut drizzle.
Right.
I like this though, but to me, it still presents more the way that the coffee is interacting with the vanilla bean. I guess it's more of a caramel coffee.
Yeah, there's not a lot of barrel though.
And it's not. I did get a little bit of dark fruit initially, but it's kind of. I'm not getting it so much anymore.
I mean, there was so much. I mean, maybe it's because of the mitts. There was so much like oak, like barrel actually coming through with that.
I am getting a little dark fruit. A little bit of like a prune almost, like sun-made prune.
Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of mixing in with this kind of like.
Chocolate covered prunes.
Ancient chocolate, though. It's like that.
Ancient chocolate.
Yeah.
Like the kind of chocolate that's been. You have to open up Pharaoh's tomb to get to.
Well, it's the Easter chocolate. That's what I was referring to.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the chocolate that doesn't sell, and then they bring it out the next year and the next year. And by the time you open it, it's basically turned into dust.
Chocolate dust.
It's like I didn't know this was white chocolate. It kind of gets this white film to the chocolate.
This is tough because you're influencing me. I would normally drink this alone. I would say I'm getting dark fruit. I'm getting a little chocolate. I'm getting some vanilla, but it presents more caramel. And there are some barrel notes, but it's not as oaky as I would like it to be. But then again, this is a Baltic Porter.
The alcohol is well hidden.
The alcohol is well hidden at 12%. So I'm going to stick with my gut, and despite you being here and trying to influence me to give it a B, I'm still going to give it an A, but I'm going to give it a 90. It's an A. It's one more point, it would be a B, but I still think that this is excellent. I think the price point is pretty good compared to some of the other barrel aged things on the market. Even Bourbon County is $12.99 a bottle. This is $10 a bottle, and it's 12%, and it's barrel aged. This is not my favorite variant. This is probably my least favorite variant. I like the German chocolate cake one, and I like the original bourbon barrel aged Framinghammer without any of the additives. I think that one's borderline world class. So I've got to keep this in the A range. I know you're not gonna. I know you're not in the A range, but I'm gonna go with a 90 out of 100 for this. Mm-hmm. It's a little thin, but it works. I mean, it's supposed to be for what it is, and it still has a ton of flavor. And I guess my biggest complaint is that it's more, to me, it presents more as like a caramel chocolate and not a vanilla chocolate, because it's got vanilla bean, like it should. But just the way that the coffee and the vanilla interact, to me, it tastes more like a coffee mate caramel creamer than a vanilla. So 90 out of 100 for me. I'll shut up now.
Yeah, just to keep John happy so we don't have to do weird mathematics, I'd probably put it at an 85.
85, so solid. This is a B.
Yeah.
Right. Most of the beers that we've had tonight, I'm in the... Yeah, that's about par for the course, I would say.
Yeah, he's a little bit higher. I'm a little bit lower on everything.
Bumpy's really a hard ass when it comes to rating his beers. even though he doesn't give actual ratings anymore on his channel.
Right.
Sorry.
That's why I was tired of being a hard ass.
Yeah. So, of the 2023 bottles that I've had so far, this is actually my least favorite. But it just makes the cut for an A for me. So B to A. It's worth a buy. I mean, if you like bourbon barrel aged stuff, I mean, for $10, $11 a bottle, depending on where you live, for a 16.9 ounce barrel aged 12% beer, I don't think you can really go wrong with it. So I would definitely recommend it. But it's not something I would buy again. I would try some of the other Jack's Abbey products for this year. I wouldn't. The original bourbon barrel aged one, I would go buy more of that. But this one, no. So, anyway, that'll do it for this beer review, guys. Thanks, Bumpy, for sharing this with me.
Thanks for sharing it with me.
Still a pretty good product. And, we'll see you on the next beer review. Until then, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Keep drinking those great bourbon barrel aged beers.
I remember why I don't like coffee stouts anymore.
I know, me too. All right. Cheers, guys.